Which was the best moment for each Demon Slayer Hashira? Literally the exact moment they peaked. I reread the manga, dug through all the epic fights, emotional scenes, and often looked over little snippets to shortlist the cream of the crop ones for each character. Manga spoilers ahead. Starting with Kyojuro, let's go over his top 3 moments before explaining which one is the best one. We have that scene from Mugen Train where they were all under Enmu's spell and practically unable to move. However, just as the girl was about to destroy his spiritual core, Kyojuro's body instinctively moved. This just goes to show how much the Hashira have mastered their physical prowess. His body moved out of pure instinct, and the fact that he didn't straight up kill her made it more impressive, because even in his subconscious, he didn't want to kill a human. This is an underrated Kyojuro moment that doesn't get mentioned enough, but is it his best moment? Well, maybe not. Perhaps it's when he had his left eye crushed, ribs broken, and internal wounds so severe that he knew he was gonna die. But he took a pose and proudly declared that he will fulfill his duty and wouldn't let anyone die here. He got his chest donutted by 𝚑𝗫𝗓, but he was still able to grab and hold 𝚑𝗫𝗓 out of pure strength of will. Though, as everyone would agree, Kyojuro's best moment is definitely his final smile before his death. Set your heart ablaze. There's barely any other one-liner in the entire story that goes harder than this. There couldn't have been a more fitting finale to a man of Kyojuro's caliber. Moving on, we have Tengen Uzui. We have that scene where he sliced Daki before even she herself realized what just happened. It was at that moment that all of us knew that Tengen is him. Then once Gyutaro is in the game, that's the scene where he calls Tengen special. And guys, his response to this was simply surreal. He calls Gyutaro out on having such a rosy outlook on life, and we also get a quick monologue where he tells himself that he can't be like Rengoku. Then we have the moment where Tengen comes in clutch at incomprehensible speed to save his wife and Tanjiro when we thought all hope was lost. Now, what do you think? Which one of these 3 is Tengen's best moment? Yeah, it's definitely the one where he responds to Gyutaro's statement about him being special. Despite being so flashy and proud, he sees himself as someone inferior to Kyojuro. He's been portrayed as this super confident guy, and everyone else is trash compared to him. But still we learn, even Tengen holds a special place for Kyojuro in his heart. Moving on to Shinobu. In this case, there's really no competition. Her best moment is from chapter 163. Much like an Attack on Titan reference, the scene where she's holding Doma's head with her hand and talking trash to his face. Yeah, there's many other great Shinobu moments throughout the story, like how she saves Zenitsu and when she gave away her plan to Kanao. But everything from this moment outclasses that. She got her revenge and the last laugh. Next is Moichiro, and we have some seriously epic stuff here. To start things off, Moichiro defeating an upper moon all by himself is a badass feat because only 2 characters have accomplished this on screen. Yep, just Moichiro and Zenitsu. Then we have Moichiro's afterlife scene, where we finally see our cute little Hashira going all out with his emotions. The scene from chapter 179 where he cries and explains himself to his brother is adorable. However, Moichiro's best moment is definitely from chapter 173. It's when Moichiro unlocks See-Through World and pierces his sword straight through Kokushibo's gut. The dude gave up everything just for a shot at being the strongest, but here it was, a 14-year-old from the same bloodline as him seeing the same world as him. Moichiro definitely played a big role in making Kokushibo feel more worthless than he already did. Next, we're gonna do both Mitsuri and Obanai together, because their character arcs are too deeply interwoven with each other. In Mitsuri's case, there's that scene from chapter 198 where she lashes out at Muzan and tells him to cut it out. This is beautiful in a way, because this may very well be the most aggressive she's ever been. She lashes out at Muzan and then slices his arm. In Obanai's case, we have that panel of Tanjiro getting saved by him and then telling him that he'll back him up because Obanai had already lost both of his eyes, but he simply replied that he has no need for Tanjiro's assistance. He has Kaburomaru with him after all. Now, these 2 scenes are their peak when it comes to their individual best moments. Though if there was a moment that could surpass even these 2 scenes, then it's their character conclusion from chapter 200. At the end of it all, both Obanai and Mitsuri finally confess their love and die while hugging each other. As Homelander once said,
"It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details."
Alright, we now have 3 Hashira left. Guillaume actually has exactly 3 moments that are absolutely peak. In chapter 169, when he joined the battle against Kokushibo, Kokushibo was amazed by his body to the point where he actually smiled. He further added that it had been 300 years since he's found a warrior of his strength. This is the best portrayal statement any Hashira has ever gotten in the story. Then in chapter 200, when he was about to pass, all the orphaned kids he took care of before appear in front of his eyes and explain themselves for what happened on that day. They then all hugged 𝚤𝚤 and proclaimed that they've always loved him. 𝚤𝚤 passed away with little tears in his eyes and a gentle smile on his face. A beautiful conclusion to our BFG. But is that his best moment? It's actually a tie between this one and that scene from the HASHIRA training arc where he genuinely praises Tanjiro for never running away, for never lying, and always staying honest. Tanjiro sheds tears as he tells 𝚤𝚤 that he'll do his best. In response to this, 𝚤𝚤 gently pats Tanjiro's head, and the anime parallels the cute relationship he had with Sayo. It's one of those moments where you don't even realize before a little tear comes out of your eyes. That's why I put these two as his best moments. Both of them are heart-to-heart conversations where 𝚤𝚤 gets to be 100% honest and vulnerable. Moments where he doesn't have to be the stone-hard, reliable big brother HASHIRA of the group. After 𝚤𝚤, it's Sanemi. And to be real with you guys, this is the only HASHIRA whose top 3 moments are on par with each other. You'll see why. In chapter 179, as Genya is passing away, he apologizes to Sanemi, and as we all bore witness, Sanemi broke into tears, showing vulnerability for the first time, and begged God to please not take his little brother away. This was the kind of scene where even grown-ass men cried. Next, we have chapter 185, where Sanemi literally lit Muzan on fire. He threw a bottle of oil and then followed it up with a matchstick. The look in Sanemi's eyes as he lit Muzan on fire was ice cold. He was absolutely unhinged. Finally, we have the scene from the epilogue where Sanemi apologizes to Nezuko, sees young Genya in her, and gently pats her on the head. Like, seriously, just look at the love in his eyes. You tell me, guys, can you put any of these moments above the other? We have Sanemi at his saddest, angriest, and then his most loving state. Finally, we have Giyu, the HASHIRA whom we've known since the beginning. We have the scene from Season 1 where the letter declares that Giyu, Urokodaki, and Tanjiro himself would take their lives if Nezuko were to ever attack a human as a demon. This was a big deal even back then, but when you realize that Giyu has been waiting on Tanjiro to catch up and claim the position of the water pillar from him, the added context makes the moment even more sentimental. Since the beginning, Giyu has been betting everything on our boy Tanjiro. The second moment is from chapter 199. As the sun begins to come out, Tanjiro, Sanemi, and Obanai use every bit of their strength to hold Muzan in place. Just then, Muzan sends Tanjiro's arm flying, which makes it difficult for him to keep his hold on his sword. However, before Tanjiro's grip could loosen, Giyu appears and grabs Tanjiro's sword with him. Just like that, the blade once again turns red and Muzan is cooked. If you think about it, Giyu has always had Tanjiro's back from the start, even though he doesn't outwardly show it much. But there's one moment that may be even better. After Tanjiro turns into a demon, Giyu is the first to alarm everyone of the situation. He was the first to realize that they have to kill him ASAP. He grabs him and begs him to please at least die as Tanjiro. Now, the one thing that makes this moment so special is what preceded it. In chapter 200, as the battle comes to a conclusion, Tanjiro's heartbeat stops. Giyu sees his body and tears immediately start running down his face as he remembers Tanjiro's cheerful, warm face. He holds Tanjiro and feels regretful because he failed to protect someone again. He apologizes to Nezuko. This happens just a few seconds before Tanjiro becomes a demon. Giyu was devastated because he failed to protect him, but then he's forced into holding Demon Tanjiro in place because he wants Tanjiro to die as his human self. What do you think, guys? I'm seriously looking forward to the Infinity Castle arc movies where we'll see all these moments come to life. On a lighter note, if you feel personally victimized after reading the sad endings of these HASHIRA in the manga, here's a funny take on how to lose against all the Demon Slayer characters.